maybe reports to talk about. So let's get into it. What is going on, yo? Phosphorus all back at it with another video talking, of course, my NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, I implore you, please do hit the big red subscribe button. I promise you will not regret it. Okay, so ton of stuff to talk about here. So just sit back, relax, get comfortable, because I will be bringing you guys all of the stuff that I've been hearing, give my take on it. All right, so the first thing to talk about is, you guys know how, the team that the Bears will trade for that number one overall pick has been kind of the main topic here. Well, basically, I saw a report saying that John McLean, who was a longtime beat writer for the Houston Texans, he came on a show and he basically gave his prediction on who he believes the Chicago Bears will trade that number one overall pick with. And he was pretty firm in his decision. By the way, John McLean has been covering the NFL for like 40 years. Like, that dude was plugged in. So when John McLean says stuff, it's not like he's just pulling it out of his you-know-what. He's actually got sources. He's actually got stuff where he's probably getting the information from. And he's basically said that he believes that the Chicago Bears will trade that pick to the Indianapolis Colts. That's his prediction. And it makes sense, right? Colts have been the team that I thought also the Bears will make that trade with. But it's funny that he didn't say the Texans, because he covered the Texans for a long time. And I think the reason is because the Texans, sitting at number 2, know that they'll end up with a quarterback no matter what happens at 1, right? If the Bears keep the pick somewhat, which I don't expect that to be, the Bears won't take a quarterback and the Texans will get their pick of whichever quarterback they want. But even if a team trades up like the Colts and takes a quarterback, let's say Bryce Young, then they still get a CJ Stroud. They can still take a quarterback. So I think that is why he is leaning towards the Colts being the team that trades up with the Bears. And I've said this before, I don't need to repeat it, but they're the most desperate team. And I think they're just done with the veteran play callers signings every single season, from Philip Rivers to Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan and so on and so forth. So that's the first part that I wanted to talk to you guys about, is John McLean, insider for the Houston Texans, longtime reporter for the NFL, is claiming and saying that the Bears will trade with the Colts for the number one overall pick, which I've been saying. And number 2 is a report from the 33rd Team, which is a football site, basically projecting out in their mock draft that the Bears will also trade with the Colts. But the important thing I want to talk about here is the haul that the Bears get, right? So per this report, per this mock draft, I should say, the haul that the Bears are getting for the number one overall pick is a first, a second, a third, and another first. All right, so basically they trade with the Colts and they get a first, second, third for this year and a first for next year. Now, I've always said the asking price has to be at least 2 firsts and 2 seconds. Well, you're getting 2 firsts here, but you're not getting 2 seconds. You're getting 1 second, and you're getting a third, though. So it's right around that range. And funny enough, in their mock draft, they have the Colts trading up and not taking Bryce Young, but taking Will Levis, which I'm not so sure if that's the right move here, because Bryce Young to me is a better prospect. But hey, the Colts can do whatever the heck they want with that number one overall pick. So they've got Will Levis going 1, Bryce Young 2 to the Texans, which I think they'd be ecstatic about. And then number 3, you've got CJ Stroud going next after that. I think they had the Raiders trading up to number 3. Trying to remember it correctly. But basically, what you're seeing and hearing now is all of the stars are aligning for where I think the Bears are going to trade with the Colts. And I think it's going to be for that price tag that I talked about, somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 firsts and 2 seconds. All right, in that price range. So that's going to leave a lot of flexibility for the Chicago Bears. I cannot wait. We've still got a long time before the draft, so there's going to be a ton of reports and rumors coming around, floating around, and don't worry, I'll have you guys covered like a blanket, so don't worry about that. But yeah, just wanted to tell you guys that 2 sources that I'm seeing now, basically both saying, hey, it's going to be the Colts, and here's what the price is most likely going to be. So let me know what you guys think about that. I think this would be fantastic. This is exactly what I'm looking for the Bears. Trade down with the Colts, stay in the top 4, take Anderson or Carter, and get a haul with 2 firsts and 2 seconds at least. So let me know what you guys think. As always, thanks for